Guys, this is Dr. Fix. Today I want to tell you guys something about AC system that the compressor heats up. Now I'm going to be using this car to demonstrate and illustrate it for you guys. Okay, here we go. I just finished fitting this sanding compressor to this car a moment ago. Here I will be using this to actually illustrate to you guys what can actually cause a compressor overheating. So the first factor that's going to cause a compressor overheating is a bad expansion valve. How does it happen? If the expansion valve is clogged and is restricted, I made a video about how to check expansion valve that is clogged. And I might be able to put the link below this description so you can be able to go ahead and look it up. So if the expansion valve is clogged, what's going to happen? Just imagine yourself trying to use your two hands to pinch your penis while trying to pee, right? It's going to be hitting. It's going to be like as if you're overheating right underneath there, right? So that's exactly what's going to happen. So it's going to be suffocating the compressor. Now, what more other technical details you need to know about that is this. When there is a restriction in the high side, which is the expansion valve, you are not going to be seeing the suction line swelling this much, right? Getting wet, as you see this one here. It's not going to be it's not going to be getting wet. And if it doesn't get wet, what's going to happen? The system is going to start building up with high pressure. So what happened when the system started building pressure? We're talking about when you have your manifold gauge set right here and you connect it on the high side, you're going to be seeing the high side going probably around 400 psi or even above that. And on the low line, which is this one right here, you're going to be getting a reading around maybe 10 psi or even more. So that's a typical case of a restricted high side. So that very side right there, what you're trying to do there is actually choking the compressor like mad. Now the second thing that's actually going to cause a compressor overheating and how to fix it is let's say that you're not having a too much restriction on the expansion valve, but the restriction is enough that there is no recirculation of the cooling system of the refrigerant inside the system. So with that, it's not going to be returning enough. There's not going to be cold refrigerant coming back to cool the compressor. So because of that, the compressor is going to be overheating seriously, because the way the system works, the compressor has to get some cooling coming back to it, and when it does that, pretty much it's going to be cooling the compressor. When it compresses and it's hot and it sends it to the condenser, you need a cold one to come back in to come and cool it down. So if it doesn't return it back, then it's going to be creating a problem. Now, okay, the next one which I'm going to be telling you guys is, let's say the compressor has a structural defect inside. That's going to be the third one, structural defect. If there is a structural defect inside the compressor, it's going to make the compressor to overheat. And in those kind of cases, you're going to be hearing some sounds like a rattling noise inside the compressor, like as if the compressor is knocked, or maybe like a compressor is running like an engine without engine oil. So, which is a structural defect. And the fourth one is going to be a lack or insufficient oil inside the compressor. When there is a lack of oil inside the compressor, it's gonna be like running the car without let me shut this system down. Okay, so if there is insufficient oil inside the compressor, it's going to be starving, insufficient oil inside the system is going to be starving the compressor of oil. So think about trying to run a car engine without engine oil inside it. Imagine having this beautiful engine and you don't have engine oil inside it for proper lubrication. So what do you think is going to happen? is gonna start building up heat due to excessive friction going on inside it. That's exactly the same thing that's gonna happen if you have a compressor installed inside a car and there is insufficient lubrication inside it to actually keep the parts moving soft and very, very cool the way they're supposed to. Then the last one which is gonna be there is suppose the system is overcharged. That's supposed to be number 6 or number 5. I forgot to count. I know you're gonna pardon me for that. So if suppose the compressor is the system is highly overcharged, I'm gonna be talking about having like maybe like 60 psi on the low side and about 400 or 450 psi on the high side. That's pretty much. Now at this very situation here, the ECU is gonna know that there is a problem because the pressure, the trainer sensor here is gonna give the ECU a lot that the pressure that is here is extremely much. So what's gonna be happening, the ECU is gonna be trying, the climatronics is gonna be trying to compensate for that very huge mess that has occurred inside the system that is about to kill the compressor. And what it's gonna do in attempt to compensate it is trying to shut off the power that goes inside the system. All right, when it shut off the power that goes inside the system, you're gonna be seeing an intermittent short cycling. There are 2 types of short cycling. The one is the normal one, the other one is the abnormal one. When the system is overcharged and the climatronics notice that there is a high pressure being sent, information data that are being sent through here to the climatronics, is going to use that information and know that this compressor is in trouble. There is too much refrigerant more than needed inside it. So what we're going to do, we're going to keep inconveniencing the compressor, so it's going to keep it safe so it doesn't get it blown to hell, so it doesn't go to rest in peace anytime sooner. You know, it's not going to be like trying to bury your kids. That's a terrible thing to do. So the climatronics is going to be very sensitive about our very situation and try to keep it on a low profile, thereby disrupting the power that's going to the compressor and thereby creating obstruction, which you now know as the short cycling. Okay, that's the one over there. That's pretty much the number. I think that's number 6, right? Then I think the very last one, which I'm gonna be leaving you guys with here, which actually causes compressor overheating. This overheating we're talking about here is might not be just about a compressor. I think you still have one more left. Sorry to say. The other side right there is moisture inside the system, or moisture inside the system can actually cause excessive heat in the compressor. It's going to boil down to the compressor, so that's why it's very important to use a vacuum recovery or a vacuum machine to actually vacuum the system before getting a refrigerant into it, because I have technically done some of these things which I'm telling you, so I'm speaking from fact and experience, not hearsay or blogging, blah blah blah, copywriting. No, there's no copyright bullshit stuff. This is a real deal. All right, now the other side which I want to say before this one comes up right there. Oh, sorry, you gotta forgive me that I forgot to count. Yeah, I forgot to count, man. I don't learn how to count. So the next one which I'm gonna be telling you here is air inside the system. Can someone say air inside the system? Yeah, air inside the system can actually result into overheating compressor. Air in the compressor can create a lot of damage. Do you know what? Because this compressor is designed to pump refrigerant and not air. So when there is an introduction of air inside the system, this is gonna be, is gonna be compressing air. And since most of the air is gonna be, the hot air molecules can get cooled down completely with the refrigerant inside. So it's gonna be resulting the compressor into trying to rest in fire by overheating. So air inside the system, so that's why it's very good. Most of the times you don't use some big cans trying to gas up AC system, because most of the times you can actually introduce air into the system. When you introduce air into the system, pretty much the compressor is going to be running mad and getting so hot. Now the last but not the least, maybe that should be number 10, is the gapping, the compressor clutch gapping. This gapping we're talking about here is going to be between the clutch and the flywheel. the clutch and the pulley. If the gap within there is just below let's say like 2 millimeter, yeah, 2 millimeter should be very good range right there, the startup. If it's below 2 millimeter right there, the compressor clutch is gonna heat up, and you know what's gonna happen? It's gonna create a very huge excessive friction that's gonna make the pulley red hot, and when it heats it up, where it's gonna go right there and damage. If it is a denser compressor, it's gonna eat out the rubber that is somewhere around this very the plate here. But if it is non-denso like this one here, this sanding, what's gonna do is to damage the magnetic clutch coil here. So there are different kinds of overheating compressors. So right now, I know that you're watching this video right now, you have known technically everything that's gonna make compressor to start overheating. So you want to make sure that you keep all those things checked when you are servicing your car AC system, so that it doesn't overheat. But if the service procedures is very well adapted to and adhere strictly to, everything is gonna work just fine and it's not gonna overheat. When you see this suction line start sweating the way you're seeing it right now, there is no way that compressor is gonna overheat. Okay, I forgot to add this very last one here. A very clogged condenser fins is also gonna cause a compressor to overheat, because what really happened technically is you dump in the refrigerant right inside the condenser, but there is no any single condensation going on. So if there is no any single condensation going on, what's gonna happen? The whole heat that is supposed to be transferred into the condenser is coming back to hit the evaporator and coming back to the compressor. So it's gonna be really spiking up with heat. So that's gonna fry your compressor. Thanks for watching. Hope you subscribe to our channel. Hope to catch you guys later. This is Dr. Cool to Fix. Bye for now. Bye.